Goku. Goku.
And Goku. How do I want to say that? I don't know. Good afternoon, good happy time zone, everyone, and welcome back to JANKUARY. I am the lead-off for today. I'm LadyErianna, and you may be wondering why there's a dog on my head right now. You're soon gonna find out. So I am playing Landstalker, the Treasures of King Null. I'm gonna go ahead and reboot this. By Climax, one of the best kinds of gaming companies on the Sega Genesis. I think they made one game, and they might have made more. They at least made Landstalker. Landstalker, yes, absolutely. And thank you for the good luck. I will absolutely need it. So, we're going to go ahead and start in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's just go. Because I have a 3-minute wait right off the bat. And the game right out the gate is going to kind of show you what it's like. Landstalker is basically, as I affectionately call it, Zelda isometric experience. Although I will say, this game is in no way like Zelda. See, you know, you have a blonde-haired elf that wears green, wields a sword. You know, there's a few other games that were inspired by this. By the way, this game was inspired by Utopia, like all other games. But I will say that games like Ocarina of Time have been directly inspired by this, including the original Legend of Zelda that was inspired by this, even though coming out, you know, 5 years before this game did. So there's a lot of really cool tricks that the speedrun will do, and you also may notice that I'm running the Japanese version. There is a reason why I am doing that, and no, I'm not using a trick known as Death Statue Skip. I'm sorry, my brain is like, I'm sleepy, where's bed when I need it? It's that way. So, the Japanese version actually has a few glitches in it that we will utilize that make this game a lot more speedrun friendly, and it's the reason I am not going to actually ever run the English version, even though I have an English version of the card. I am actually running this on hardware on a flash card, though, so that does help. I'm running this on a JVC XI that was graciously donated to me by my friend Dented Razor. I still need to get the Sega CD portion of it fixed, but if I ever do get a Japanese cart of Landstalker, I'll be able to play it directly on this, and I will be very happy. So, anyways, story time. Nigel, your main character, is a treasure hunter, and he found a statue, sold it to this guy, got some money. Then we get met by this pixie who basically says, hey, I know of even greater treasure, that's why these 3 people are after me. And she's like, if you help me, I'll, you know, lead you to the treasure. So she's like, yeah, I don't actually know where the treasure is, but I know it's on the island of Mercator. And that's where we need to go, but Nigel's like, well, the boat only comes like once a month, so how are we gonna get there? And, well, all that money that Nigel made is gonna pay for one of the most luxurious forms of air transportation ever known to man, or woman, or NB, or whatever you identify as. And that is a giant bird wearing goggles. Also, just shout-outs to Nigel just standing on said bird and just, you know, just ignoring the wind conditions, anything like that. Just doesn't give any hoots about it. So, after this, we actually now can play the game. Well, a little bit. So, we get dropped off in this very inconspicuous place where the treasures of King Null are supposed to be. And so now, as soon as this dialogue is done, and of course he paid all of his gold to that giant bird, and now we actually get some gameplay. So, the game itself is on an isometric plane, so you only have the 4 diagonal directions that you can move. And which makes it very difficult, but it is definitely a game that's designed for the Sega Genesis controller, having the diagonals on there. I've tried playing this on the Wii, and it is not fun. Well, okay, it's fun. It's just very difficult to control. And we're gonna grab these two chests here. So, what we're getting out of that is an item called Livestock, which is basically, think of it like a heart container. And that it is increasing their health. Unlike in Zelda games, though, hearts actually... shoot, what time is it? How much do I have on this? Oh, there's a giant boulder there. That's just... it's supposed to chase us around, but, you know, I just ignore it. And boulder doesn't do anything to you here. So you actually can't make that jump, even though you could make that jump, but there's an invisible barrier there that puts you down. And, yeah, just whisks you away. And the thing is that the treasures are practically right there. You're not that far from it. And, yeah, the majority of the game is just basically to try and get back here. But, yeah, we're just gonna, you know, casually just faceplant. Oh yeah, I forgot I actually have to move the dialogue. So the one other thing about Livestocks that I was mentioning is that not only does the game does it increase your health. So yes, the bottom of the screen is a cut off the, well, I was gonna say, does it, I'm not looking at the screen itself from the stream. I'm actually gonna pick up an e-geek as well. Wow, I'm already like confused as to what's going on. All right, anyways, we come into the first trick of the game. We're not supposed to be able to pick this up, but we're gonna try because, oh, you are in the worst spot in the world, dog. This is actually a really bad spot for the, there I got it. So we gotta pick up the dog and toss it on top of that statue to get this livestock. So the other benefit of livestocks is that the more you have, the more damage you do. So managing to pick up as many as we can while not going out of our way is actually beneficial. So we get rescued by that girl, and we are told that, hey, if you're looking for the treasures, there's this old man that lives in a waterfall. He might know a few things, and so we're gonna go visit him. And we haven't gotten into any combat yet, but we are going to be getting into there here. Oh, you're gonna be hearing that scream so much as well. One thing I do like about this game is the amount of like corner platforms and everything. The platforming in this game is oh, you did not stay where I wanted you to. The amount of platforming in this game is actually really fun. There's a lot of it, and it can be frustrating, especially for, oh, there's a random e-geek. I'll explain those in a bit as well. Okay, we need to damage boost there, and we just skipped an entire section by doing that. Gotta take out these orcs for the glory of Gork and Mork. That's alright, I'm sure they'll be back. So, yeah, the amount, and we're gonna see a lot more fancy platforming later on, but do gotta talk to this old man. He tells us, yeah, I do have some books on it. Come back to me later. We're never gonna come back to him, by the way. So, anyways, we skipped an entire section by doing that damage boost, and a good rule of thumb in Landstalker is if it moves, you can stand on it. So we kind of utilize that with some of these bubbles to get past the part where we have to use a key to enter a room, to hit a button to actually open the path, and we ain't got time for that. So, come over here, corner jump, there we go. Yeah, there's, it's very possible that the bottom got cut off in things, and if you need to me to take a moment to recrop it, just give me the word, and I'll pause it so that you actually can get the full crop. Because I am not watching the stream itself, unfortunately. All right, so I picked up a key, I picked up another livestock, and we're actually done with here. So, much like in the original Legend of Zelda, which is why it's inspired by this game. Reprompt already, just make sure nothing else cuts off. Gotcha. So, much like in the original Legend of Zelda, if you have a key, you can use it in any dungeon. So we have a spare key, and by having that, we're going to do a sequence break coming up in the next dungeon. But in the meantime, we have some story. And by story, we come into here, we already turn our back on the people, because we're treasure hunters, not heroes. Basically, the mayor just said, oh yeah, that my daughter that rescued you, yeah, she just got kidnapped by a neighboring tribe, and could you rescue her, please? And we're like, no, we don't want to, but we're going to. It's a feature, not a bug, yes. So, now we kind of get into they're very much for Erasure, right? We're getting into kind of the meat of the game. And by the way, I am very rusty on this. I don't think I've played this since my limit break run back in May. So, you're getting some really rusty Airy here. Which I'm not playing too bad right now. Well, don't jinx it, Airy. Please don't jinx it. 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. There we go. Sports out of the way. Takes 4 hits. 1, 2, 3, 4. Alright, and one thing about isometric games is a lot of times you can't see the platforms, so we have a little bit of platforming jank going on here. Oh, by the way, there's the daughter that got kidnapped, and they are going to sacrifice her to the orc gods that they worship. And we can't allow that to happen, right? There's a giant rock in the way that we can't find the treasures to unless we have that rock move, so we actually don't have a choice but to try and help her. Also, that guy's name is Pockets. I'm sure we're never gonna see him again. He's a rival treasure hunter. Grab this livestock. Oh yeah, so you may notice that there is like a little bag counter with the number 2 beside it. 2. And so what that is, that's the amount of an item called Ekeeks that we have. Basically, think of them like fairies from Legend of Zelda. If we were to die, they will revive us. These are very important, and we're going to be needing a lot of them. We can only store up to 9, but for the sake of the marathon, I'll probably be collecting extra ones, buying them, whatever I need to do. Please stay out of my way, shrooms, because you hurt. And, alright, speaking of platforming jank, you couldn't even see that. How are you supposed to know about it? Please, mushroom, go away. Alright, so we picked up an item called the idol stone back in town, which is what we jumped to grab. And that's gonna open up this next dungeon. Lucky Ekeeks, we love to see it. So, the thing about killing enemies is they always drop either an item or money. And certain enemies drop certain items, but everybody drops money. And the thing about it is that enemies can also pick up gold bags or items. But if they pick up an item, you lose it. But if they pick up gold, then you can actually, it basically just adds to it. So we're gonna do a thing called ball skip here. Thank you. And just skip over that door. Again, Nigel is a character, unlike Link, another lucky Ekeek, we take those here. Nigel doesn't take fall damage, but he does take fall damage. Unlike Link, who takes both types of damage. The best jokes are the early or the late ones. There's plenty of good jokes early in the game. Gotta grab this key. And let's... So this is where the daughter was taken, and we're going to be utilizing a couple sequence breaks as well as a couple tricks. I'm going to try to group these enemies together. Of course, they are not cooperating. Alright, I could grab an extra Ekeek there, but I'll probably wait until after, because I am ahead. I did have 3 lucky drops. Oh yeah, I forgot about you. So, because Nigel has such a wide swing, he can hit multiple enemies at the same time. And if we can pile up a bunch of enemies together, we can take them out very quickly. Another Ekeek there. And we're going to use that key that's not the key, that is the idol stone, Harry. You got this. Gonna use the key that we picked up in the swamp, or in the waterfall shrine, which is the first dungeon. I don't need to take them out, so we're just gonna climb these stairs. There we go. Use the other key here, and we're gonna reclaim these keys later, but... oh my god, I'm getting lucky e-geeks up the wazoo. This is the run and another lucky one, holy frig! I get a lucky one right as I die. So if I do die, there is gonna be a slight flashing screen, just to let everyone know. It's very brief, but I'll try my best not to die. It's probably gonna happen a few times though. But I've already had like 5 lucky e-geek drops, so that is, I usually get 1 or 2 in a run, and I've already gotten like twice that. Alright, drop. Gotta drop you here. I remember how to play this game. I swear I do. Damage boost that. And I couldn't make that corner, that's fine. Hello. And 2, 3. There's 2 more right here. Hello. You both didn't want to wake up at the same time, did you? 1, 2, 3. And we want to kind of push them closer to where our destination is. Grab this. And throw that there to move that block down. And we can just jump up like this without needing to touch the other block. Grab the key here. Little corner jump. And there we go. Yeah, I swear I'm probably going to make some of this look easy, but let me tell you, this game is probably one of the hardest games I run, and I run Alf, so this is a very tricky game to do. This is also the intentional lag room, because as you can see, there are so many sprites on the floor right now that it is just lagging the game. We'll come back here later. Alright, need to keep them alive. And to hit that button. That is one of those temporary buttons, so it only keeps the door open as long as something is on it. So we have to lure those orcs onto it in order to open that door. And now we're coming up on my favorite trick, where doors are suggestions. Doors are just suggestions in this game. And that is the main reason I actually run the JP version, is 4, 5, 6. That is the main reason I run the Japanese version, because that glitch is patched out of the US version. And in order to do the same thing, you need to do what's called a gold bag jump, and I can't do it. That is a legit frame perfect, needs a certain buffer. It's really tricky. So we're gonna backtrack a little bit. I'm gonna take a little bit of a safety to line myself up and fall down this hole, and to grab that livestock. If I miss that jump, I have no other opportunity to get this livestock, and that means I'm a livestock down, making the rest of the game a little bit more difficult. Alright. So I am ahead on E-Geeks, so I might actually try I'm ahead on E-Geeks, but I'm low on gold. So we'll see how this goes. So, because I now have 14 livestocks, I can actually kill these white bubbles in 1 hit and the blue bubbles in 2. Whereas before, it used to take 2 and 4, respectively. The orcs still take 4 right now, but as the bag's on my head, and why not? Grab that, and this is the key I said we were going to reclaim. So. Alright, I'm going to actually use an E-Geek to restore my health. You can actually use them instead of waiting to die. Doing so restores you at about either 50% of your health or 11, whichever number is higher. I missed the swag kill. My bad. Alright, so the reason I did that is I want to try to... There we go. I wanted to do that without having to fight them. It's a little bit quicker to do that, but I'm ahead on E-Geek, so my health is actually in really good shape. And we freed the princess, or whatever she is. It's a chief's daughter. We just call her princess. You know, we're a hero. We're absolutely a hero in this game. In no way are we gonna let any wow. Okay, there's 6 that I've gotten lucky. Also 169 gold. Well, it was 169. It was a nice number at one point. So ideally I want to have 206 before I get back to the town of Gummy, which is the second town that we were in. I don't know if I'm going to have enough. I'm debating. I gotta think now. I need another 20. I need another 22. Yeah, I'm a little low. I think I'd probably, you watch, I'm gonna find the 22 that I need. But so I'm actually just gonna buy the livestock here. Yeah, which is over here, I think. Please tell me this is the shop. Oh, good, it is. It's a little cheaper here, but it's further out of our way than buying the livestock in Gummy. So we're fine. It just means we're gonna be a little bit ahead on money. And we talked to the mayor, he thanks us, and he gives us an item called the Red Jewel. Which, come to find out, we actually need we need 5 jewels in order to open the pathway to the treasures of King Knoll. Are we gonna get all 5? It's a speed run, probably not. But we don't ever need to come to that town again, so we're not going to. Also, just shout out to the composer. I wish I knew the composer's name for this game, but it's a very, very wonderful soundtrack. If you've never listened to this soundtrack, just give it a moment. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1. You watch, I'm probably going to easily get my 22 that I need. Oh well. So, the hitboxes on those bubbles are actually smaller than a lot of the other enemies, and what you actually have to do is what I call a rising slash, is where I slash and then jump, because if you're just slashing and standing still, you lose movement. And if you're losing movement, then of course you're not going fast. So what we do is we do a rising slash, which is we slash and then we jump at the same time, or just shortly after it. So what I'm doing on my controller is kind of hitting the A button followed by the B button just ever so slightly, kind of have my controller like this right now on those low enemies, and I just tap both at the same time to get the higher ones. It's a bit of a learning curve, but it will help combat. So as far as gold goes for the rest of the game, I need about 600 to really get the rest of what I need. So, but there's still plenty of time for all that. We only buy 2 more livestocks at about 300 a pop. And the rest of them will just fine. So, any casual player knows that if you go here, or who's played this game before, if you go up here, you actually can get your first sword upgrade. The only thing I want here, though, is this this livestock here, and I honestly don't care about that sword upgrade. We don't need any extra swords in this game. Alright, gonna avoid encounters as much as possible. And all things considered, I'm not playing too bad considering how rusty I am. Watch, I'm gonna just jinx that. Two, stay away, Quagmire. I call those worms Quagmire because their face looks so much like Glenn Quagmire from Family Guy. Alright, so this is the town of Ryuma. The mayor and a bunch of other people are missing. We're gonna just talk to this random person that we should somehow know that they're there. And he's like, oh yeah, the mayor's been kidnapped and taken to Thieves' Hideout. Please, I should tell the whole town. So we're just gonna talk to this guy. He's like, yeah, we're in kind of a bind. Can you help us? None of us can go in there. And it's like, we're treasure hunters, so no. But we end up doing it anyway. Because we can't advance until we actually rescue the mayor. So we're gonna take this raft to the Thieves' Hideout, but we get water time. So the 3 people that were chasing us earlier, they followed us. They want the treasures. However, they don't know how to steer a raft. Bye. They're gone. I'm sure we'll never see them again. So we're actually coming up on my favorite section of the game is in Thieves' Hideout. The reason being is there's a lot of really cool platforming sections here. There's not a lot in the way of combat. There are a few things, and because we actually have an extra key as well, we will be sequence breaking a few things. Excuse me. Thank you, controller. Aw, thank you, Queen. But yeah, there's a really cool sequence break here, and a really cool, if I could actually hit it. I did fail that on my limit break run. Two. They did not line up the way I wanted them to. It's fine. Alright, so got through that. We're coming up to Orc's hallway. And we're just going to kind of walk through it and leaving all the gold on the floor, which is what I normally do. Trying to avoid those balls. I actually avoided them. I'm going to pick up both these E-Geeks here, and we're going to be maxed out, so if I have any lucky drops, they're gone. I usually don't want to go above 8 if I can help it. I messed that up. I also don't want to use one, so I'm actually going to take it slow here. There is going to be a quick flashing screen coming up when I step in front of the statue. So just giving everyone a fair warning. It's coming up right now. Alright. I missed that jump. That's fine. So we push that statue, and what that does is it actually stops the waterfall from flowing, so it opens up a new area. And in. There we go. We're just skipping a room there. No big deal. These orcs do not want to land in front of me. So normally we actually have to go back to the bottom floor, grab a key, and then come back up here, but it's slower to do it that way because, hey, we got an extra key. Actually, we got 2 extra keys, if I recall correctly, so... Because we did the door skip at the end of Swamp Shrine, we have an extra key. So normally you're also supposed to go through another section there in order to get the last key to come up here, but we're going to just do that now, and we're going to reclaim those keys, because keys are actually very vital in this game, and they'll allow us to do a bunch of sequence breaks by having extra ones. Grabbing this gold statue, I don't really need the money, but it's probably best just to grab it now. Alright, and now we're gonna fight the boss of this here, and there's my boss. And there's the mayor. And I'm trying to remember where the, okay, there's the livestock. A little bit of money. And, okay, that's what I need. So, we get an item here called the lithograph, and what the lithograph is, it basically just shows the location of the 5 jewels for the treasures of King Noel. And Friday, that's the name of the pixie, she points out that it just looks like the map of the island that you're on. So these 3 show up, and they say, give us a lithograph, or the pixie's gonna be eaten. So Nigel's like, oh god damn it, I'm gonna just have to do that, aren't I? So that's what he does. He's a good guy like that. Oh, that's an E-Geek. What am I doing with my life? Alright, so we rescued the mayor. Dungeon's not over yet, though, because we did do some sequence breaking. Also, we're coming up to the one shout-out I have in this game. And, as I always do every time I play this game, we shout out to Big Balls here. Alright, so here comes the cool platforming, if I can actually get it. Oh, I actually hit it, wow. Oh, that's scary. I'm a little behind, so I can't do the cool skip, but oh my god, that's really tight. I think I fell a couple times when I did that at Limit Break because I was also playing on a controller that wasn't mine. And thank you. So there's a little hidden area up here that will get us one more livestock. getting the ball to cooperate is really difficult. So I'm actually surprised I got that. Also another mini boss. It's a tarp, by the way. Bye. Literally, it's just a tarp. Oh, that's an E-key. Alright, and there's a key. And since this is slow, I'm just gonna do this. And now we've pretty much done everything we need to do in Thieves' Hideout. There is one more section, which just gets one more key, but other than that, yeah, that's pretty much Thieves' Hideout. The platforming in this is, again, some of my favorite in the game. There we go, thank you. And the fact that I actually hit it without any worry. And now you notice I'm taking down these blue bubbles in one shot. Excuse me, I say one shot, and then there's that one that takes two. The amount of damage that you do sometimes can be a little random. Excuse me, I'm definitely a little tired today. And I got the hiccups now, lovely. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oop. And we're gonna grab a golden statue there, and another livestock. Actually, no, it wasn't a gold statue, that was a key. I knew that. I can read Japanese, I swear. No, I can't read anything, really. So, if you're wondering, LadyErianna, how can you read any of this? I can't. I just know I know the English game well enough. That was just an e-geek in there. I don't need it, really. Again, I'm capped out on it, so... And that's it. I don't need to do anything else in there. However, I do gotta stop and talk to the mayor, because otherwise I am going to have to come back. So we talk to him, and what he does is he gives us an item called the safety pass, as well as a little bit of gold for helping him. The safety pass lets us get into the next town. And now if I can remember how to do things in the next town, because, again, there's a lot to know in this game. I did tell staff that it's like, I could do this game in my sleep, and I'm kind of proving it because I'm really sleepy right now. And I still got 2 more games after this, so... Pushing that rock. Alright. So just doing a little bit of more light traveling. Taking a lower path, saying hello to the quagmire worms. They just pop their head out and go, "Yeeting!" And that's, you know, how it works. I'm pretty sure that's where Seth MacFarlane got the idea. He was just playing Landstalker. He's like, you know what? One of my characters could look just like this. And then we are all cursed forever. Alright, so the safety pass will let us in, but we want to mash the cancel button, which is B here, because otherwise we're going to have to pay 200 gold to get in, and we don't want that. We kind of want our money. And they're like cheapskate, and then just let us in. So this is the town of Mercator, biggest town in the game. And we want to try to... we're going to talk to them, but we're also going to do one more sequence break here, and which is we are going to... open up the pathway to Green Maze. We're not going to go there yet because we can soft lock ourselves if we go there now. But we do have an extra key. I almost used that gold statue. That would have been very disastrous for the run. And I'm going to do a little bit of isometric platforming. And I missed that. That's fine. So basically at this point, you're supposed to gain audience with the Duke of Mercator to kind of advance the plot. We do need to advance the plot a little bit, but we don't need an audience with him. But we still need to at least open the castle up in order to advance. So we did have to talk to that guard, which we did. And that sets up Madame Yard's side quest, which isn't really a side quest because it is mandatory. But so Madame Yard's... Madame Yard's is a dance studio. Okay, in the English version, it's a dance studio. In the US version, it isn't. Excuse me, in the English version it is. In the Japanese version, it's not a dance studio. It'll become quite apparent here soon as to what it is. But so the reason we actually open up the path to Green Maze there is to just save ourselves a little time there. So we can just do that. We gotta talk to this girl who is watching her father, the Knight in Red, say that he's gonna go to Madame Yard's. And she's disgusted by it because she knows what Madame Yard's is, and this is, you know... Okay, Madame Yard's in the Japanese version is a brothel. So you can understand why she's kind of mad at her father for doing this. So, and naturally, us being, having the appearance of a 16-year-old kid, want to get into the brothel and we're not allowed to, so, the woman there says, oh yeah, talk to the fortune teller, gonna make you look old, and, you know, if Phantasy Star 3 has taught me anything, it's that you become old when you get a mustache. So, she gives us this appearance that will make us look older, and, we're allowed access. Normally costs 5,000 gold, but, you know, since we're so distinguished and we have a mustache, they're gonna let us in for free with just this once. So, again, English, dance studio. Absolutely. Which is, oh, flashing screens, by the way. Friday's not very happy with us. And, basically just rips off the... rips off the skies. And, so, why are we doing any of this? Well, we need to get an audience with the Duke, and here's Arthur. He's like, my secret must die with you. You can't know that I did this. And, so he's gonna challenge us to a sword fight, and, you know, much like Arthur in Ghosts and Goblins, is just gonna die to one hit. So, at least the good thing here is at least he keeps his armor on. Which I imagine he probably just put that armor back on anyway, so it's a pain in the ass to get armor on. Not gonna lie. Alright, so he tells, yeah, come into the Duke's castle. It's like, you're invited. We're looking for good adventurers to help us, and so on and so forth. So, we're just going to ignore that invitation. Gonna grab this. It's one more livestock. It's a little game here called Green Peas. You can actually just throw that boulder onto a moving platform, win money, don't need it. So, the whole concept is we go to the castle, we get told of this quest, we have to do another dungeon known as the Crypt. No one likes the Crypt, so we're not doing it. To get access to go to Mir's Tower. Mir's Tower is, or excuse me, Mir is a wizard that's been terrorizing the citizens, demanding money, all of that. And so the Duke tells you, yeah, we need you we need someone to go there and take care of this wizard, but the wizard's blocks his tower by magic, which only the amulet can break. So, you know what? We're awesome. We're actually not even going to bother getting that amulet. Let's just grab another livestock there. And now we're coming up. We're going to say hello to my good friend Papyrus here. Papyrus, where are you? You are really further down there today. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Alright, now let's set this up. We're gonna lure him here. And we're gonna remove that tree. You're normally not supposed to be able to cut that tree down without an item called Axe Magic, but if you set it up so that you get the kill there, the enemy will drop its item, and the tree will get removed at the same time. So, if you do it there, the item that we end up getting was actually the magic sword. And, this is a kind of a hard setup, but you actually can get through this like that without needing the amulet. Normally you get the amulet to get in here, but you could just do a little corner jump like that and get in. So yeah, the item that dropped from the tree was the magic sword, which is normally what we have to climb that mountain for, but we just grab it. I swear this will be our only sword upgrade in the game. I'm actually going to go ahead and use an E-Keep now. There's one there. There we go. This is a very neat game. I will say, it's very frustrating. It's frustrating if you're playing it for the first time, just because of the isometrics. I'm gonna wait for that platform. There we go. A lot of the jumps are really tricky. And speaking of jumps, we're gonna try doing corner jump here. There we go. And that skips having to go up, fall down, and it saves a few seconds anyway. Nothing outlandish, but it's also it's not a hard trick to do. But we normally have to go up, jump down a hole to hit that button to make a bridge appear in that same spot that we just jumped down. So, a very, very easy trick to do just to save yourself some time. Now that bridge is there, we can cross over. He didn't come out. All right, that's fine. Come here. I'm gonna try and gather all 4 of them. So, as you notice, I'm burning the enemies. Okay, I gotta pay attention here. This is the world's hardest jump. And I missed it. That is actually a very pixel perfect jump, and it's very difficult to do, especially on this controller. And got it. First try. Let's go. Yeah, this is a lot of people get reminded of Solstice in this game. So anyways, I picked up an item called Garlic, and what Garlic does, well, it wards away vampires. I'm gonna go ahead and use another E-key. Top myself off, grab this one. I'm way ahead because I've had those lucky drops. But that is not what I want to do. Well, I gotta do that again. I did not mean to go there. It's fine. Mir's Tower is one of those dungeons that it's a lot. It's a lot to remember, and there's quite a few tricks that you can use. So we come up on our friend Miro, who's basically our doppelganger. He does not like garlic, though. Definitely not an Italian doppelganger. Get in there, please. Thank you. All right, now we're coming up on a trick that I discovered, but I'm gonna try. There we go. So I take a hit by that, and I can just phase right through there, save me a few rooms. I need to remember how to actually do that, because that's actually a really tough trick. Okay, there's that. Ooh, I almost fell off. And wait. There we go. So yeah, if it moves, you could stand on it. And we're gonna move over here. So this is a little teleporter maze. I don't like it because I can never remember what's where, and yeah, I'm taking double hits. Crap. That's fine. Go down there, get a life stock. Gonna use the E-Geek because it's a little quicker to actually use it than to wait for the revival. Plus you save the flashing screens, so it's all better that way. And, nope, the other way, Aaron. Gotta go up! You gotta remember that. That's fine. Going up. And... so, if I jump on a spike ball, and before I actually hit it, if I kind of face the other direction, I'll get pushed in the way I want to go. Frick. Well, that was not cool. It's not a big deal, but it is a pain in the ass. Because it is a time door. It's a bit of a time loss, but not a big deal. And we do that to get another key. We're almost done with Mir's Tower, which again is probably one of the trickiest dungeons in the game. And the one thing I did want to say, I was talking about the magic sword and then I got sidetracked because that's the nature of this game, especially when you're solo commentating. The magic sword, you probably noticed that sword icon in the upper left corner, just charging up. When that is full and I swing the sword, I'll do an example here, you'll notice that they burn. That basically means I've dealt double damage to them with this sword. There are 3 other swords in the game, including the Sword of Thunder, which does, I believe, 2.5 times damage. It's possible it could be 3 times, though. Then you got the Sword of Ice, which only does 2 as well, but it does shoot a projectile. And then you have the Sword of Gaia, which is also 2 times, but it does a complete screen wipe. Or not screen wipe, but a screen attack. And please get out of my way, unicorns. Thank you. Please, thank you. Alright. Gotta clear this room out. Alright, and then we are going to fight our friend Miro. Oh my god, he actually hit me. And just not even stand a chance. So, Miro's going to lead us to his master, Mir, who's a wizard. He congratulates us on making it this far. He's very kind to us. He's treating us well. He's like, hey, how can I help you? Friday's like, yeah, stop terrorizing the people. Mir's like, you're not going to listen. Whatever. 3. Which way are you going? Not that way. Oh my god, I messed that up. Yep, I messed that fight up. So, we're going to spend a lot longer now because I fudged that one up. Normally, I could just trap him. There we go. Whew. You can kind of just trap him if you don't get hit, but he kind of moved in a way I didn't expect. But he says, alright, well, I submit, you win. What can I do for you? And Friday's like, stop terrorizing the people and also give us the purple jewel. And he's like, well, you can have the jewel, but I'm not the one terrorizing him. It's actually the Duke that's doing it. And he goes on to say that the Duke's his brother and all that. So, yeah, we're gonna get the purple jewel, which is, and I'm actually just gonna go ahead and top myself off because there's 2 E-Keeks down here. And there's the purple jewel, and we're done with Mir's Tower. So, now we have to actually go see the Duke, which we skipped that entire section, so we technically don't know who he is, but, you know, we broke the game, because, you know, when it comes to isometrics, it's just jank. Everything's jank when it comes to isometrics. Which is why this game got accepted for JANKUARY. In the meantime, I'm going to let my voice rest for a minute, and you're just going to get some of the awesome mobile world music here. Why? Because my voice is still hurting from yesterday. I'm going to try to not kill red bubbles because they drop an item that will make my inventory kind of messed up a little bit. So it's best to try to avoid that. Hey Alice, how you doing, my friend? Always around when I'm playing Landstalker. Alright, so we have access to the castle. And we're just gonna go right up and talk to the Duke immediately. So we get a little bit of a cutscene here. Da 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 da. Da 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 da. Alright, so there's the Duke, and he's like, oh, thank you for getting the jewel for me. And he's going to steal both the red and purple jewels from us and say, yeah, it was me. I plan on getting the treasures of King Noel. Oh, by the way, we're going to throw you in jail, but not before you talk to this beautiful lady. So Kayla, that's her name, says, yeah, we're going to work with the Duke. We're going to split the treasures 50-50. But little does she know that the Duke just pulls out the rug from under her. And he's like, yeah, I don't need you. So we lose the jewels, and we're just going to be thrown into the dungeon. You know, we're going to fall like 50 stories, and Nigel's not even going to care. And I messed that up. So this is the dungeon. Not literally called the dungeon. It's actually not really that bad. Also, Kayla, Wally, and Ink are just going to be eternally punished by having a ball drop on their head. Almost forgot that corner jump there. There we go. And then we got 1, 2. I think I messed this up a little bit, but 1, and there we go. Slash that to open the door, and we're gonna do some really cool platforming here. And we're gonna do a little skip here, and that's another thing that the English version has, is that you can actually, when you have iframes, you can actually go through the spike balls and other balls and other objects when you have iframes, which is also why you can go clip through doors. Alright, I'm going to try this corner jump. It's really difficult. And of course, yeah, it's fine. You save like a second if you can hit it, but it's really, really difficult to hit. And down we go. gonna go ahead and use an e-geek here. There's plenty of places where I can get more e-geeks coming up, but I don't need any right now because, again, I got like 6 lucky drops, so I'm just gonna avoid those 2 down there. Grab these. And get those out of the way. Kind of hug that door a little bit so that the mummies kind of gather up. And now we need to climb to get out of the dungeon. So this section is what I call the climb. I wonder why. We do have a little bit of a gauntlet of knights. If we can gather them together, then we don't have too much of an issue. I'm actually kind of ahead on gold. I'm surprised. And get over here, thank you. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and heal up. And grab these 2 e-geeks. I'm playing a lot of safeties right now, even though it's taking up extra time. That corner jump. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And we gotta take these 3 down. Unfortunately, I can't. There we go. My sword swing wasn't going wide enough to. Up too close. So one thing about the sword swings in this is that if you're close to a solid object, you can bonk, and that is another annoying thing about this game. Alright, oh my god, stop, let me go, thank you. We don't need to kill those ones, we just need to get to the door. So this is Zack and Princess Lara. Princess Lara is from the same land as Nigel, and she got kidnapped. Zack is also one of the adventurers that the Duke hired along with Nigel to help him out. Zack's like, yeah, I don't like any of this. I'm just gonna take the princess as collateral and try to, you know, as ransom, actually, excuse me, that's the word I want to use. So Princess Lara is kind of like me, a little bit of an airhead. And... And Zack just literally grabs her by the head and flies off with her, and she's like, wee! And, you know, she's just happy to do that. So, what we know is that the Duke is going after the treasures. And I actually need to do this because I need... Actually, no, I don't need the key. I hope I don't anyway. I'm trying to remember. No, I just go straight to Green Maze. I probably should double check that though, because I don't. Yeah, I'm fine. Free air travel, yes. Very free air travel. No, I knew I should have. Like, did I have to go up and get that key? It's like, no, you don't have to. I don't need to reclaim that one. Yeah, it's free air travel, but you have to not mind being carried by the head. It might be a little painful, but, you know. I'm sure that's how baby birds learn to fly. So this is Green Maze. Anyone who's played this game casually knows how annoying this level is. Because there's a lot of isometric jank coming up, and a lot of hidden paths. Things that just are frustrating. And I'm just going to make this look easy. The first thing I need to do, though, is I need to kind of walk back and forth. There's one. Oh, they played nice. There are 2 wizards, and when you kill them both, that treasure appears. And that just has a livestock. We can go without it and grab it on the way back out, but it's a little easier to do it here. That's a good question, Desert Eagle. That's a very good question. I wish I knew the answer to. It just goes into the into a bedroom at the top of the tower. Nope, this way. I'm trying to remember this. I'm trying to remember Green Maze because Green Maze is like so finicky. Alright, gonna go this way. So I got plenty of e-geeks, thankfully. I only need 1 to actually get through Green Maze. There's not a lot of combat sections in this area. I'm gonna try and do a corner jump here. There we go. And here's the only dog in the game you ever see hurt. Poor doggy. Friday's like, hey, give me an e-geek. We're gonna go ahead and revive it. And dog's like, happy. It's a happy dog. That's the happiest dog in the world. Look at that face. So it leads us through here. A little secret passage. There's a livestock there. And we just follow it. And it leads us to the woodsman. And the woodsman's like, hi, Nigel. Thank you for rescuing my dog. And Friday's like, how do you know our names? Are you one of the Duke's men? And the woodsman's like, no, my dog told me. and evidently the dog talks. And so he gives us an item called the Einstein's Whistle, which Einstein is the name of the dog. And says, yeah, with this you can actually talk to animals. So, yeah, we can talk to animals in this game now. It's only really beneficial to open up the dog dungeon, which is usually an extra dungeon that I use as an incentive for marathon settings, at least for ones that raise money, like I did for Limit Break. But yeah, we end up talking to the dog that we threw at the beginning of the game. Alright, can I actually make the cycle? Yes, I can. There we go. That was actually a really good fight there. We're gonna drop right down here. And again, how are you supposed to know any of this? It's really tough to do, to figure out. But once you get the hang of it, a green maze isn't too bad. Alright, I gotta focus here because if I fall down, I lose a livestock. And I'm not used to a typical 3-button Genesis controller for this game, so I'm not playing as well as I would hope. Alright, a frame-perfect trick here. Can I get it? Nailed it. Alright, so we get our last water break of the game. I say the last one, but this is the last time we're going to see them because they're just going to be stuck in green maze forever. I do swear that this is the last time you see Kayla, Wally, and Ink. Fall down this hole, into here. All things considered, if I can actually leave the island under an hour, I'm doing well, but I don't think I'm going to be doing that. If I can leave green maze before the hour, I'd probably be happy. I'm actually ahead on money. I only need 600 to finish the game. And I only need to get 9 more, so yeah, I'm really ahead. Good fight. So yeah, I technically don't need to grab any more. Also, this is the most cryptic part of Green Maze. Oh, I did not mean to fall like that. And that's what I heard as well. I haven't played Time Stalker. Also, just a hidden path there. No big deal. I do need to... Okay, so I think I played a little bit of it way back in the day, but not a lot. Alright, so... the reason we're here is actually to get that item back there, which is called the Sunstone. The Duke, on his way to get the treasures, also hidden message here. I'll translate the whistle. It does say trans rights. So we're going to call the lumberjack by using the dog whistle. And he's going to come clear those trees for us to get the Sunstone. What the Sunstone does is it repairs the lighthouse that the Duke conveniently broke so that no one would follow him to the treasures. Which is the only reason we're actually in Green Maze, is to get that item. So we got that cleared out of the way. Unfortunately, we can't do tree removal glitch to get it, but there's the Sunstone. And we're pretty much done with Green Maze. If I was doing Dog Dungeon, I would exit out the other way. I'm going to also do a safety heal here as well, so flashing screen warning. And we're just going to get out of Green Maze. That was actually a fairly good Green Maze, all things considered. And by all things considered, I mean the combat was actually really good. And sadly, I say sadly, but we're actually coming up on a section where we're going to actually change the overworld music. And I say sadly because I do like Overworld Music 1, but 2 just slaps so much harder, in my opinion. Both songs I would love to learn on keyboard, but I don't have the notes for them, so... And by Green Maze. Oh, I did get out of Green Maze in under an hour, so that is good. And so I got 50 minutes to finish up the rest of the game. Let's hope I can still do it. All things considered, I don't think I've actually had a bad run so far. This has actually been fairly solid. But now we need to go back to Ryuma and actually get, repair the, we need to go back and repair the lighthouse. Wow, words. Words are kind of not being nice to me today. And this is normally where we would try and get a little bit more money, but I'm definitely ahead of the count. But that's quite alright. At least the good thing is I don't need to go back for bags. Go away, Quagmire, no one likes you. It's funny because you can actually kill them before they pop, or just as they pop their head out. And for some reason their hitbox at that point is actually high enough that you can hit them. The worm enemies are really weird in this game. Alright, so we're back in Ryuma. And we're gonna climb the lighthouse. And we're gonna go ahead and repair the lighthouse so we can advance. Alright, and I'm gonna hold up and right here. And I'm just gonna mash B. He's gonna, big flashing light warning. And from right here, I can actually just jump right through him. Here's another livestock. Who else but Quagmire? Giggity! And so we're just gonna jump down this pit now and land on this poor boy's head. He don't mind. He's like, I'm just standing here. Alright, so there's one livestock right here. Now we're gonna go ahead and grab, and there we go. So, the lighthouse repaired, we can now chase the Duke. Oh yeah, we Goomba stomped him. Absolutely. We can actually now just chase the Duke. So we gotta go back to Mercator, we gotta go to the harbor. But in the meantime, just a little bit of walking. Also, you may have also noticed, or not, it depends if you played the game or not, I'm not getting any armor upgrades. So, if I get hit, I'm taking a lot of damage, especially later in the game. And for some reason, I'm playing well, and by saying that for like the third time, I've jinxed it. It's like looking in the mirror and just saying the name Biggie Smalls a few times, and he just shows up. You know how that works, right? Alright, so back at Mercator one more time. You know, we've been here plenty. And so there's a little farm stand here that sells e-geeks. I'm just gonna steal it. Why am I stealing it? Well, because I don't want to talk to this guy. I just want to skip him. And so we talk to the captain here, and then we're gonna have a music change. I'm just gonna jam out to it for a little bit. Also, I'm just standing on the captain's head now. For reasons. Alright, so this is technically the second half of the game. There's a town here called Verla that has, the people have all been captured and forced to work in the mines. Which is where we're going now. We're actually going to the Verla mines. We don't need to talk to anybody in town. Normally when we go, they basically say, hey, could you rescue the people in town? And, but, you know, we're heroes, right? We're totally gonna go ahead and rescue these people. Please, thank you. Okay, good, they cooperated. So, the Verla Mines is a really... it's a bit of a back-and-forth dungeon. Are we gonna go back and forth, though? Well, we'll see. Dodge, and... Whoop. I'm gonna go ahead and use an E-key, because I do get a damage boost here, but... Grab this, and I'm trying to remember the setup. It's right there, that should be fine. Jump on that. Totally, that's the intended path. So we grab an E-geek and a livestock. And we're gonna go rescue these poor people now. So we're gonna dodge and move this way. Take out a couple orcs on our way because, you know, they're just, they're Xeno scum and they are not for the Emperor. Nope, that is not how I want to do this. There we go. So, yeah, we're just gonna let the people of Verla kind of rot in the mines. I suspect I know the answer. We're going back and forth. Back and forth and back and forth and back and forth, back and forth, back and forth and back and forth and... Yeah, that's the Chrysalis theme. So, yeah, we, because of door skips, we're just gonna let the people rot in the mine. Normally you complete the mine, you hit the button, you get through, and we go on to the town of Destal. But if you actually rescue the people, you can get the Thunder Sword. It's just a little bit slower to get, so... Alright, so here's our last livestock that we're gonna get, and we're just gonna kind of walk out with it. Yeah, we probably should pay for it, though. We went forth and back, yes. I can never hit... I never can get that one. So, we're coming up on my least favorite section of the game called Mushroom Hell. And... it is literally hell. I have been soft-locked here. Because these mushrooms can just paralyze you and not actually kill you. So, gray mushrooms are the bane of my existence in this game. And, okay, poison I'll take. I will take poison. There's going to be some flashing screens, and I apologize for that. Actually, to be on the safe side, to save everybody, I'm just going to go ahead and heal myself. There. We'll waste the time, but it's better than the flashing screens. There. Alright, so this is the town of Destal. It's a dwarf town. Or an elf town, I can't remember. It's one or the other. In any case, we want this chest. In order to do that, we just gotta kick the guy in the head a few times. Until he just submits. Listen, that's the best way I can get people to submit to me, is just kick them in the head. And there's livestock in there. So, yeah, we sequence broke again to get to this part. Nothing really here. There is a ring there, which we actually don't use a single ring in the game in this run. That's the Mars Stone, and what that does is prevent you from being poisoned. We're not gonna get it though. We don't need it. Oh, by the way, here's the Duke, who's just happily just sitting in the chair on a raft. Everyone has a plan until they get kicked in the head. Yes. As someone who was in martial arts and did have a plan until I got kicked in the head, yes. So he's sailing off to get the last jewel, which is in the lake shrine. But he bought all the rafts. And I say bought very loosely. He didn't pay a dime for them. And the raft guy, if you actually talk to him, he's like, the Duke's a cheapskate. So we go up here, and the Duke basically just says, yeah, we're like a million miles ahead of you. You'll never catch up to us. But yeah, he's going after the last jewel. He's got the rest of them. And he just needs the one in there. So, because there's no more rafts, we can't exactly follow him. Also, hidden isometric BS right over here. There is a doll there, which is a full heal. And on the other side, which you can't even see, wouldn't even know it's there, there's a livestock. And coming up is another really tricky corner jump, so we're going to set up. Boom, there we go. So, the next dungeon we're going to come up on is probably the scariest as far as platforming goes. And because one false move and you are losing a ton of time. Also going to see if Thomas will move. Nope, Thomas kind of got in our way. I call him Thomas, I don't know why. Alright, so this is the Destal Well. This will basically get us close to the lake shrine. But there's a lot of pits, especially early on, so there's going to be some jumps I do that's going to look scary. You're just going to have to trust that I know what I'm doing, and if you do, you trust me more than I do. Alright, this is what I call the Kobe room, so we gotta first clear out the Lakers right here as they lag the game. And we're setting this up here, setting that up there. And these pits are actually, like, really narrow. Kobe and Kobe. There we go. And that gets us a key. So yeah, it's very easy to fall here, and it's very possible I will. So let's just hope I don't. Grab this e-geek here. And then we're gonna jump right across that pit over here to grab that livestock. Little corner jump here, and actually that's a really good spot. There we go. We actually got through. It's not quite over yet, but the scary pit is out of the way. If I fall down here, it's not as bad. Like I said, okay, maybe it would have been. That actually... Oh, that was actually really scary. Okay. I thought it would have taken me to the room ahead, but... Yeah. Alright, we're gonna do it this way then. Alright, flashing screen, because I died. You know what? You both can just die. Thank you. Grab this livestock. Alright, it's this room. I was actually lucky there that I actually ended up... Okay, we're taking the safe route. There's a doll. You know what? I'm gonna just take this livestock of shame. That being said, I do gotta backtrack a little bit. So we're gonna be head on livestock, which is a really good thing, but I missed the jump because I was being silly. So we're back here again. And what did I do? I told you I was gonna fall. Alright, well, everything just went off the rails. So, yeah, falling down here, especially if you're on PB pace or anything, will ruin your PB. Unless your former PB actually has a fall. Oh, that sucks. It's not rip, but it's definitely like, oh, heartbreaking. Alright, just take the damage. There we go. Try this again. Take 3. We got this. If you believe in Joe Hendry, you can believe in me. Alright. There we go. I kind of missed that jump, but that's fine. Alright, we're past the pits. So... now we get to do some more door skipping. Just get up there. We're going to do some feather steps. There's some sneaky steps, as I call them. Grab that key, because if we actually step on that spot, we get ourselves trapped in there. We have to kill all the enemies in there. We're going to wipe out the skeletons here. And I don't know why I got that. And we're getting another room where we get some sneaky steps. Just right on the edge, jump over the trigger. Grab this key, and let's go. I'm going to go ahead and use another e-geek. I actually don't want full e-geeks at this point. Get out of my way, please. Thank you. Grab this key. Now, I'm hoping to do a door skip here, but I kind of need you to line up. There we go. It's better than trying to fight them. You do say his name and he appears. Absolutely. Alright, so we're just gonna... This is the pot room. We're gonna take the pot and we're just gonna set it right there. So much like in the Swamp Shrine, there's a button that kind of just doesn't stay. There we go. Whew. That knight, like, is like, no, I'm not gonna push that button. But thankfully the Lizard Man did. Alright, so I am going to actually kill this boss coming up for safety. You don't need to, and even in a normal sense, I usually don't. But the item he drops is actually really, it's really helpful for safety. So we're just gonna do it. No, 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 no. And these are the healing boots. So the healing boots, when we equip them, will heal us like 1 point every 32 steps, I believe. Flashing screen. And I'm going to equip them right now. And if I'm going for a PB, I definitely don't want them. But since I'm very rusty as well, I kind of want to have them. Alright, so I am 1 life stock ahead, so I technically don't need to try and go for this next trick, but I'm going to try anyway. If I really fail at it, I'm just going to move on. Alright, normally we can't reach that chest up there until later in the game. But... let's see. Spectre Skip is really tricky. There we go. That's Spectre Skip. I'll let you get that life stock up there. But again, I am ahead on life stock, so I could probably save myself 1 somewhere else. But I at least wanted to show that off because it's a wow, Harry, you can jump now. Because it's a really cool trick if you can actually hit it. Where I do have the extra life stock because I fell into the pit of shame. Hello, let me go, please. I said let me go. Thank you. I'd rather not use an E-Geek here, though, but at the same time, I do want to have also the flashing screens coming up again for a heal. Grabbing 2 items. They're both items called the Statue of Gaia, which, when we use it, just creates an earthquake. We actually have to use 1 here. And what that does is it basically blocks the volcano, or at least makes it so that the lava hardens, basically just builds a bridge to the lake shrine. So, these are Unicorn Knights, the guards of the Duke. I am sure we're never going to see them again. Absolutely. So, this is probably my most hated dungeon in the game, because it is really, really large and very confusing to get through. Alright, so we're going to do this. And, again, doors are suggestions. Also, this guy's going to give his best Final Fantasy victory pose animation for about 30 seconds. And eventually, there's going to be a button that appears. And that'll freeze them and do that. Alright, let's see if I can do this trick. Nope. Try it again. This is actually really tricky to do. And I am really rusty on it. Actually, I'm going to give it 1 more try. If I can't get it, it's fine, because I am ahead on life stocks. You know what? I don't want to bother with it. I'm ahead on life stock, so there's 1 I don't need to get. Alright, so here are 3 E-Geeks here that I can just pick up, and I'm going to. But the reason I wanted this one here is it lines me up perfectly to do this skip. Gonna take the damage there, jump on this pot, and over that door. So we're in an area we're not supposed to be in just yet. And that should land me right there to grab that. Perfect. Alright, so we're actually a lot further into this dungeon than normal. So we're going to talk to Quagmire here, jump on him, jump over this door. Gonna try and grab this chest. Oh my god, I actually got it. Let's go. Grabbing this key here. Step 1, die. Step 2, don't feel bad for killing me. Lifetime of therapy. Alright, so we need Quagmire to cooperate with us. There's 1. I don't care which holes they go into, I just need 1 in each of them. Get in here, please. Quagmire. Who else but Quagmire? Alright, there's 2. Count them in. Thank you. And there we go. So, we need them to hit the buttons. This gives us a livestock, but this also opens up the path we're supposed to go in order to advance. So we're going to move over this way, and then take that damage boost, jump on that ball, and skip over this way, and this will lead us right to the boss. And there we go. Gonna move right here so we can grab this treasure. That is actually a livestock. The other 2 are geeks, and the Duke tells us the jewels are in that chest, but he lied. It's actually a livestock. So Zack kills us, and he's like, never have me do anything dirty like that again, but Mir rescues us. And we're back at Mir's tower, and he is going to give us an item called Axe Magic. And this is actually how you're supposed to remove trees in the game. But we did the tree removal glitch earlier, but we still do need Axe Magic to progress. Otherwise, you have to do Death Statue skip, and I do not like that. So, we're going to grab a couple items, and I'm going to grab one extra one for safety. I grab this doll here. So, you may have noticed one of the items I was talking about was called the gold statue, and I haven't told its importance yet. And the importance of that will be coming up within the next couple dungeons. But when you use a gold statue, you get a brief moment of having your sword meter completely full. I don't remember the exact timing on it, but it also varies based on your movement. So I took that one there. It's a safety one, because it's very possible that I could mess up and need another gold statue. But yeah, they are very important. I swear this is our last trip to Mercator. But we're gonna go to Green Maze one more time. And in the meantime, I'm going to have a little bit more water. Because that is not where I wanted to go. Talking by yourself for such a long time without commentary, especially for this particular game, there's a lot to talk about in this game, too. As you're probably like, Ari, you have not shut up this entire time, and I'll be like, yes, I have not. Thank you very much. Thanks for noticing. Hashtag trans rights. So, with the Axe Magic, we can just go right through, and this takes us to the mountainous area, which is the area we need to go to before we get to King Noel's treasure. Hello, thank you. Oh my god, I do not want that. Oh my god. Just leave me alone. Also, more isometric BS right there. There is a... right behind there is a treasure chest that has another livestock. Yes, if you don't believe in trans rights, I always say GTFO. Excuse me, thank you. Alright, so, moving on. Just a couple of paths here to the mountainous area. Oh my god, Papyrus, please just die. Not the actual Papyrus, because we like Papyrus. That's I hate specters in this game. They are the most annoying creatures. I would hope so. I can use an e-geek here. There's going to be a bit of a lag, because there's just too many sprites on screen, so I'm going to try and get rid of a couple. And of course that one disappears before I can kill it. Again, specters are very annoying. Grab this golden statue. And get us over here. So we're coming up on the bridge, which is a broken bridge. And falling here sucks. So here's Zack. He's like, yeah, I'm tired of you. We're just going to settle this out now. And so as you begin to fight, Friday's like, wait, this isn't fair. You have all the advantage here. Let's fight on fair ground. So Zack's like, okay, let's let's go up there and fight. So, we're just gonna go up here to flat ground where we don't have to worry about falling, which, again, I don't know why it's such a big deal, because Nigel does not take fall damage anyway. And I'm gonna try to... Actually, I don't think it's the right spot. Now, you could use a gold statue here to make this fight a little bit quicker, and because, again, Zach is just gonna one-shot, or one or two shots you anyway. And I got him anyway. I just need to get him one more time. In defeating him, he'll give you the Goal's Eye, which will take us right to the cave that we were at the beginning of the game. There's a statue at the bottom of this mountain that we go to, and that's where we need to use the eye. So we're gonna take a little leap over here, grab this Eek. Oh, I almost fell. I mean, I'm glad I grabbed the extra gold statue, but flashing screen coming up. And Goal's Eye. So you may notice we're right back at the beginning of the game. Except now this cave's got some enemies. So we're gonna just damage boost a few, because if we actually avoid the fireballs, the wizards actually will vanish. So we kind of need to get hit. Also coming up on the Piccolo room, the first thing we do, dodge. Because those skeletons can knock you right back into the previous room, and you have to do the whole room over again. So, the way I remember it, it's the Piccolo room. We dodge. And if we don't dodge, we ask ourselves, why didn't we dodge? Alright, they are cooperating. We're going to be taking a lot of damage boosts here, because these enemies actually are really strong. And it's quicker for us to just get through. And we kind of don't want to be at full health for the most part anyway. This we will take these kills here, though. Because, again, gray mushrooms are evil, and we don't like them. I said specters were like the most annoying enemy, but really gray mushrooms are even more annoying. Wow, okay. Let me in. Thank you. So, we're gonna try to get through. I'm gonna actually use an E-key here. More lag. Again, I don't need to fight anything here. What we do need to do is we need to lure them up here and get right in their hitbox and rip through. That does not believe in ball damage. It does not exist to him. He believes in ball damage, though, because he will take that. Alright, so there's going to be some big flashing lights coming up. So I would say look away for a little bit until I tell you to. So the Duke wants to get to the treasures. And the only way to do it, you have to have the 5 jewels, and you need to sing a song, which is what the princess is for. She refuses to do it until the Duke threatens to put a spider down her dress. I mean, look, I would probably say the same thing. Like, rather not. Got really, really big flashing lights. And there's going to be another set of flashing lights in the same thing because we're going to follow him. But Princess Laura is like, oh my god, my prince just rescued me, thank you so much. It's like, we're going to live happily ever after. But, like, let's go back to the mainland. And she's just basically gushing over him. And so Friday's like, no, and so they start fighting. It's like, you just happened to get rescued. You weren't even you were not even the target of all this. You were just coincidental we rescued you. Also, I love this. This song doesn't get played enough in a speed run, but it's so beautiful. I'm debating on whether to buy another gold statue to be on the safe side, but alright, so one more flashing screen, or one more big one anyway. Even I have to look away from it because it's really strong. Alright, we should be good. If you need to look back. Alright, so this is the town of Destal. Actually, no, this is Kazal. We were already in Destal. This is the only town that actually sells an infinite supply of livestocks, but they're really expensive. We don't need them. We want 59 to end with. Ideally, anyway. But we're gonna go right into King Noel's Labyrinth, and I'm going to give my voice a rest and let you listen to the music. Oh, no, that was bad. Oh, this is actually really not good. There, I do need to get hit. Hi. Really? Well. You know what? Let's just do this normal way. I've already lost 2 e-geeks. Normally you could just take a door boost on there, but if you get through and it doesn't load, you actually have to take damage to get through, and of course the bubbles are like one of the most uncooperative enemies in the game. So we're just gonna do this room normally. I've lost 2 e-geeks, and normally I will accept 1 here, but 2 it makes it a little bit more dangerous. And then we're gonna go ahead and... Hi, you wanna help me? There we go. Actually, I could use... a death isn't a bad thing when trying to door skip. Oh, I got through. Okay, we're fine. I will use a doll here, though. Rather than e-geek. A doll is a full heal. So we do need to clear this room. So this is actually the largest dungeon in the game. Ah, I missed. You know what, screw it. I can't get that jump today by the looks of it. Normally you could do kind of a corner jump a little bit and just ride it like an elevator. But, yeah, I'm not hitting it, and I'm running low on e-geeks. That's... I'm not really comfortable with. That button makes this platform move. So we're actually going to go without the lantern in this dungeon. I don't know if anybody else can really see. I know I can't all that well. But I also have the brightness turned up on this TV so I can actually see the dark rooms a little bit better. Alright, this is actually where I failed a lot during the my limit break run. 3. So we have to kill them. 3. Grab this. Alright, this is the room where I mess up on a lot, and if I do mess up here, I'm in actually a lot of trouble. So I need to defeat all of the skeletons in this room, but also at the same time I need to jump here and use the second statue of Gaia. You'll hear a screech. Indicates that I did it right. So there's still 2 more steps I need to do to advance. If I don't do the steps, then I have to reset the room, and I don't have any more statues of Gaia. So it isn't a lock, because there are a couple in this dungeon, but it's a lot of time loss. So I do have to kill all the skeletons here. Make that button appear. And what killing that statue and hitting that button does is it opens up a pathway to another button that I need to hit in order to advance to the next room. I just fall down here, grab that livestock. How goes the talking to the lands? Well, we've talked to it, but it hasn't really talked back. Hit that button. Not crazy about 5 e-geeks right here, though. I can get more coming up, but it's really kind of scary. But I should be fine. So we're going to go ahead and use our last key here. And we're going to take this pathway. Which we're not supposed to take this path right now, because there's a block that stops us. But remember I said doors are suggestions? Come on. Okay, he's actually in the right spot for me this time. Rude, very rude lands. Doors are suggestions, and so are blocks. So we did block skip there. It's a little bit trickier, but... And... Let's see if I remember this. Nope, I do not. I don't remember the fall pattern here. But this is a livestock. And we need to... So this room basically is just one giant pit, and it just loops on itself. I wish I remembered. I think I need this not actually moved after so much. But we need these snowshoes. And there we go. So I'm kind of nervous about hitting the door skips right now. That, set that there, and that should open the door. I'm gonna try a door skip here, but... nope, that's gonna fail. No, I got through. Alright. I knew it. I'm gonna die, aren't I? Yeah, too bad. Ah, frig. Down to 3 e-geeks. Now I'm getting scared. Sadly, that is not what I wanted to see happen. That's a really tough jump. I'm gonna take a safety heal here, so flashing screen. So we kind of sequence broke a little bit by doing that block skip. We can't skip that boss that we have to fight that normally opens it, but getting the extra livestock in that pit will help us fight the boss a little bit easier, and we can just do everything we need to do in this sequence anyway. So it's a minor sequence break, but we still have to do everything anyway. So, fall down this pit, talk to him, and he basically says, yeah, you kind of need a raft to get through here. So he tells us that there's like one tree that remains in this dungeon that can be chopped down, which is not true. There's plenty, but only one that will give us the item we need. And I'm going to go ahead and re-equip those healing boots. The healing boots have paid dividends so far, but... Corner jump. Oh, I almost missed it. I almost went to the dance pit. Which I fell into like 3 times at Limit Break because I was using a controller that I was unfamiliar with. Because when I was practicing at Limit Break for this game, my controller broke during practice. So... I have such bad... So I've actually broken 3 controllers speedrunning this game. No, in every other game I've played, I've never broken controllers. But 3 have broken. Yeah, root controllers too, absolutely. Alright, so we talked to the man down there. And this is his son. Son's gonna let us up to get the... to do this. And this is the needlessly winding corridor. The only benefit is if you have healing boots, you do get some extra healing here, but... Chop that tree, and we get 2 sets of logs. Also, by the way, I have not saved the game once during this entire run. Just controller could be rude. Had a couple breaks. Well, these were the, not the 8-bit those. They were the, aftermarket ones that Retrobit had. And there was the Big 6 that feels like a regular 3-button, but is a 6-button controller. And the D-pad on it is really good. And it played Landstalker really well. So I'm actually on a traditional 3-button controller right now. Take care of these 2 at the same time. I do need to grab their gold bags, though, in order for the buttons to spawn. You, I don't want you around. I'm just gonna... You know what? I didn't want you around, but I'm gonna take you down anyway. He just charged right at me. Well, I just shacked that one. Yeah, but in my entire life, I've never really had a Genesis controller break on me until speedrunning Landstalker. Alright, couple e-geeks. Which is good, because I do need to get that count back up. Just to be on the safe side. Hello. Oh. Alright, so we're gonna fight the Fire Elemental. I call him the Troll Elemental. We kind of need to sit right around here. Use a golden statue. And just keep slashing. It would actually help if I actually let it charge. So you can tell I'm not losing my charge here. So by having 58, we actually do extra more damage to him. So it'll be a quicker kill than if we had 57. However, he's a little bit trolly. So as long as we continually slash, we're actually keeping that charge. Oh, that was bad. We're actually keeping that charge up with it just by continuously slashing. I think Alice remembers how panicked I was at Limit Break when my controller broke. Because my run was like the next day, and I was rooming with Alice at the time, and yeah, they know how it was. And then Rizu took me to get another controller, which is the Hyperkin I was using for the Master System, but the D-pad on it was not conducive for this game. Oh, that was actually a really good kill. And there's one of the goal items. Audio? What happened to the audio? Oh, just the, I was gonna say, did something happen to the audio? No, it's just the cling, 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 cling because of the nature of the game. At least I hope that was it. Yeah, we both had. Yeah, it was not fun. I mean, the event was fun, and rooming with Alice was a great joy. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and Kobe. God, I shacked it again. I really shacked it. I was wide left. Oh goodness. Thankfully, we're almost done with the dark rooms, but do have to jump that corner because there's a button that makes that block spawn. So now we actually are in the room where this is the kind of the order that we're supposed to do things in. But now the block's gone. We don't actually have to do block clip again. But we don't need to do this fall, so we're just going to jump this way. And this is actually a little bit of a faster way, at least from what I understand. I probably should measure it out and see if it's actually faster to go this way or if it's faster just to go back the normal way. I'm gonna try this again. Okay, hit it. Alright, set this up. And I missed it again. That is a really tough corner jump to hit. Several paragraphs about, oh god, yes, the hotel. I think I made a couple knocks at the hotel. Flashing screen. I made a couple knocks at that hotel during my run, too. And I think it was because I couldn't do the elevator trick with that ball over there, so I said, imagine elevator's not working. Oh, I hope this year at Limit Break we actually get a better hotel, or a better venue. Alright. Let's put on spike shoes one more time. So I should at least have a couple more e-geeks coming up anyway, and I'm actually gonna go ahead and leave these spike shoes on for a little bit. Logs, please, thank you. Alright, there's one extra e-geek. So I should, as far as healing goes, I should be fine for the rest of the game. That's a statue of Gaia in there, which I do not need. So we're coming up on another boss here, known as Spinner. We don't need to use a golden statue on him, but... Okay, I guess kind of lock him in that corner and just keep slashing away. This guy actually really hurts. And there we go. Whew! That's a scary fight. Alright, so behind this waterfall is actually the Hyper Breast, which is the only armor upgrade in the game that we're getting. And it's really, really strong. It's the strongest armor in the game. And at this point in the game, I'm very happy to have it. Alright, so we have 2 of the pieces of Gola. And now all we gotta do is just finish the run at this point. And as soon as I get past the next ice part... Okay, whew, no dance pit today. Thank heaven. The dance... I fell into that pit 3 times at Limit Break, and I had to learn on the fly how to deal with that room, because I did not remember how to beat it. Because it had been so long. So once I get past here... Okay, there... Oh, this is the best thing I could hope for. Alright, and for the last bit, this is our last armor change in the game. Alright, one more little bit of bad platforming here. We're actually almost done with King Noel's Labyrinth. Now, we got one more boss to fight. Not really that scary. But... we have 6 E-Geeks, that should be more than enough. We got a bunch of dolls. I'd probably rather use the dolls than the E-Geeks, but... I'm gonna take this one out. If I'm fast enough, I can make the cycle, but it's really hard to make that second one. You really have to have your platforming down to a science. That last one you can do pretty easily, though. A lot of corner jumps. We actually do have to kill all of the skeletons. They're all lined up nicely for me. And the lag actually helped me a little bit there, but... Okay. So we do need to kill all of those to advance. Isometric platforming is absolutely reminding me why I haven't beaten this game. I'm getting Josie to play this game at some point. That's the big reason why with that and another, she had an appointment as well. That's one of the reasons she's not here, is because she didn't want me to spoil this game for her. And she wants to be able to watch my run with appreciation, which there. Oh, by the way, there's Miro again. He says this time he's not afraid of garlic. There actually is another clove of garlic you can actually get in this dungeon, and it does nothing. So we're just gonna push him right here and just do this. And Miro's like, yeah, this dungeon's layout is really confusing. But that's the last piece of Gola that I need. And I probably should just check to make sure I grab them all. Okay, yeah, I did. I always get nervous about that. Alright, final dungeon. Let's go. This is King Noel's Palace. It's really... it can be really scary. And there's one part that I'm hoping to not bang my head on, the Golem Room. Last life stock of the game, so we're at 59. Gonna take the damage boost there. I messed that up, but that's fine. So, I'd rather not take the corner jumps if I can help it. Especially right here, because those pits are really the pits. And so... let's hope this... okay, they're cooperating. So we need this pot here. And we need to climb up here. This is actually scary. Right there, boom, there we go. That's a really tough platforming section. Do gotta do the corner jump there, though. Okay, as far as pits go, we should be fine. Also, we gotta wait here. Wait. There we go. So, kill these 2 knights to make some platform spawn. Then we can do one more sneaky step. Kind of hit up, and I missed that sneaky step. Lovely. Normally we could just do the sneaky step and avoid actually triggering those to get on, or to turn on anyway. Please let me through, thank you. Whew, that was close. Alright, here's coming the Golem Room. This is really tricky, and I'm probably gonna fail a few times. But... I failed none. Alright, well, when in doubt, We're just gonna take some balls to the face here. We do need to hit this statue, or excuse me, hit that plaque. We're gonna get hit one more time, aren't we? Nope, I got it. Jump down here, and as soon as I land the platform, let go. Okay, so that's skipping that entirely. We're done with the platforming, thankfully. Now we just got some boss fights. 60 geeks and a few dolls, I should be fine. We're gonna go ahead and use one of our gold statues. No, that's bad. Okay. So, we're just gonna keep jump slashing to kind of keep the timer on stall a little bit. There we go. Woo, that was a good spinner kill. I usually don't have them that good. Alright, here's another piece I really want to learn on the piano. Might be a little too advanced for me right now, though I've only played for a few months. Alright, so we're coming up on the final two bosses. I'm a little bit behind, but we had a few hiccups. I expected my gameplay to be a little bit better today. Meh, stuff happens. This is Landstalker. Alright, so we found the treasures of King Noel. And, King Noel is not very happy that we found it. There he is. So we're gonna go ahead and use a gold statue. I do have an extra one. And we're gonna hope for 5 hits at a time. Other than that, he's just gonna be basically Aghanim for me. Just disappear. You just Frig. Right? Nice. There's a 5. So I can get anywhere between 1 and 5 hits before he will disappear. It's just, he's not... Sometimes I call him King Troll. Because he's just a troll. Like so. Holy, would you stop disappearing? He's very much trolling me right now. Okay, Noel's down. So, the Duke followed us, and basically said, thank you for finding me the treasure. I'm going to give you 10 gold out of it so you can buy yourself a candy bar. Thank you very much. We don't like the Duke. He's very mean. However, he does get his comeuppance, and, you know, this is what we want to do to all rich people in life, right? Just have them burned with it by a dragon. So, this is Gola. I call him Trolla sometimes. We're gonna kind of stand in a certain spot. And we got one tail, and right here. This is where I want to be. And just jump slash 2 tails. Okay, that's bad. I do have the extra gold statue, so it should be fine. Let's go ahead and use that doll. So this is the final boss of the game, and I am not in the right spot. Holy frick. Okay. I think this should be the right spot. 3 tails. Oh, I'm gonna get stunned. Yep, there we go. Gola's blessing. Let's go. So if you get stunned, you're gonna get Gola's blessing, which is basically him just breathing fire on you. Another stun? Yep. Wow, Gola's a real troll today. Not gonna lie. And 3 blessings. Oh my god, this is actually probably the worst, some of the worst luck I've had in this game. Okay, here's a sweet spot. So we don't want the statues to run out, and ideally we don't get stunned this much, but 3 blessings is kind of a lot. If he tails us while we're in the air, we're fine, but if our feet are firmly on the ground, then we get stunned and he just, you know, breathes fire on us. So if I do run out of statue, it's not the end of the world, but it does, and time. So a little bit over. The game was kind of mean in some spots, though, but it's, this is Landstalker. I absolutely love this game. This, as janky as it is, this is probably my favorite game on the console. And yes, I say that knowing that Phantasy Star 4 exists, knowing that I made the randomizer for Phantasy Star 4, this is still probably my favorite game on the console. The story's so silly and whimsical. The gameplay, once you get used to it, it's actually really good. There's a lot of frustration, especially with platforming, and I probably made this look easy, especially for anyone who has played this game. The Japanese version is a lot of fun, though, because you do get those silly block clips and just getting through things. It's a lot harder on the US version. But yes, so that is the end of Landstalker. In about an hour and a half to 2 hours, somewhere around there, I'm going to be back with a couple more games. Gonna do a Falcom block with a couple good Falcom games, but they are a little jank. Legacy of the Wizard and East 3 for the Sega Genesis. So, and I'm rusty on those as well, so we'll see how it goes. But other than that, thank you everyone, and I will catch you all later. Bye-bye.
Goku.
Goku. Goku.
Goku.